Amy, let me tell you about a magical place that is so exactly designed to be enclosed space, year-round fun for the whole family that I bet you already know what I'm going to say before I even say the name. Let's say it together on 3. 1, 2, 3. Great Wolf Lodge. You got it, Amy.
My kids loved Great Wolf Lodge when we went. You probably already know that it has a huge indoor water park with a wave pool, lazy river, a bunch of massive water slides. But then your pack can hit the other attractions because, wait, there's more.
Great Wolf Lodge has adventure-packed attractions like Magi Quest, a live-action game kids can play throughout the lodge, plus the Northern Lights Arcade. Spent some quality time there, so your kid who loves the lazy river and your kid who loves fantasy games will both have a great time.
Great Wolf Lodge also offers great dining options and complimentary daily events like nightly dance parties, all under one roof. Unpack the car once and you're settled in to have fun. And with 22 lodges across the country, you're always a short drive away from adventure.
We've both had such great times at Great Wolf Lodge, so bring your pack together at a lodge near you. Learn more at greatwolf.com and strengthen the pack. I'm a whirling vortex of doom when it comes to items.
What fresh hell?
Laughing in the face of motherhood.
The morning bathroom thing is complicated.
With Margaret Abels
and Amy Wilson.
There's only 2 clean pairs of underwear, and we need to leave in an hour.
A podcast that solves today's parenting dilemmas.
So you don't have to.
King of the castle, I have a chair.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to What Fresh Hell, Laughing in the Face of Motherhood. This is Margaret.
And this is Amy. And today we're talking about things that sound crazy, works for me.
Love it.
Or for you guys. Yeah.
It may be nutty, but it works.
Right.
Amy, let's do something that sounds crazy, but is something we're supposed to do, which is go straight to the mailbag.
Awesome.
Oh, yes. Wait a minute. Time for mailbag. Wait. Check the mailbag. Amy and Margaret, look and see. Oh, yeah. Is there a letter in your bag to read? Check the mail. I know.
This week we have an email from Kelly. She wrote in to say, I just want to say you beautiful ladies have changed something in me in just a short amount of time. I'm the mother of 2 boys, 10 and 8. I often struggle with thinking I'm doing it all wrong. You've shown me this is so far from the truth. Giving myself grace is something new and takes a lot of practice, but it is so freeing. Hearing your voices first thing in the morning is my new way to start the day. Not that it's the only time I listen. If I'm in the car, you guys are on. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thanks, Kelly.
Oh, that was so nice. It was so sincere. Yeah. I'm used to very goofy mailbags, and that one was just lovely.
Nobody was calling you out on a factual error.
Yeah. Usually it's just my sister yelling at me about goofy stuff I've done, but this was a change of pace.
We went to our Facebook group, facebook.com/group/whatfreshhellcast. Come join the fun. We asked, what's something that others might say is crazy, but which totally works for you? And of course, you guys brought the great answers. Can I start with a couple of my own, though?
Please do.
I got this idea, actually, because I went to a fiction writing workshop a couple summers ago to work on a novel that I never finished. But Lauren Groff was there. Do you know who she is?
What was that book she wrote? I loved.
I read Florida and loved it, which was short stories. And she has a new book out called The Matrix. Anyway, she writes lots and lots of novels and she has little kids. So, of course, everybody wanted to know, how do you do it?
Right.
That's the question you always ask. How do you do it? And she said, I don't really want to tell you guys because it's absolutely crazy. It works for me, but it's totally crazy. And so then we were all like, okay, now you have to tell us. Well, here's what I do. She writes longhand a draft of a novel. Then she burns it. She destroys it. Then she writes it again, and then she destroys that. And then she writes it for a third time. And by then, the stuff that is really important, she remembers from draft to draft, and it sort of has sifted out, and the important stuff remains. And that's how she writes her books. And we all were like, anybody who's written, anything longer than a page, like the idea of writing something and then just destroying it and starting over from scratch is insane, but it works for her, clearly.
Amy, I have some feedback. A lot of times I feel like people are like, this is going to sound crazy, but...
And then it's good.
I put my shoes on one at a time. It's not crazy. Right. That is legit crazy. Hats off to her. I was expecting it to be like, I do this crazy thing where I have a smoothie before I start working. No, that's legit crazy. God bless her.
Yes. So we don't have to go that far, but I have a little one, which was for me when my kids were little, I got really good at picking up stuff with my feet. like carrying the baby. Did you do this? I got like
I have
chimpanzee like with my feet at picking up stuff.
Yeah, I have magical feet. I can pick up anything with my feet.
Do you still do that?
No, I've stopped. Because as you know, from our many conflicts on the topic, I do not like to be barefoot ever.
Oh, right.
And so I lost my superpower.
I see. Did you take the socks off for that brief moment in time when you really needed?
I don't know why. When I was pregnant, maybe I also lived in California, so it was warmer. And in New York, I really don't like to be barefooted ever because I'm always cold.
Yes.
I don't know. I can definitely picture picking stuff up at my feet and thinking like I'm amazingly good at this.
Yes. Yes. And I always felt like I got like crazy looks from other people, including people with little kids. It's like, don't you know that this is when you're holding the kid, that's the only way to do it. Also, baby wearing, I feel like I'm not seeing these days as much as I did even like a decade ago, like people wearing, using wraps to carry the baby. I decided that seemed crazy until I had my third kid. And then like baby wearing, it saved me. Like you just wear the youngest one and then you go about your business with the older ones. And it's so easy and it works so much. And people just think it's crazy who have never tried it.
I'm definitely team baby wearing, especially I had a colicky one and that was it. Like otherwise I would have to carry him 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
Had to wear the baby. Mine is, I heard this in college and I was like, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard. It was an author speaking. I don't remember who it is, but he talked about working from home. Before that was like even a phrase like, oh, I don't go to an office. I work at my house. And people were like, what? I've never heard of such a crazy idea. And he said, but the discipline of working from home is difficult because you can kind of, wave into the day and you don't get stuff done. So he said he got up, took a shower, shaved, put on a full, he was like one of these guys who dressed, a full 3-piece suit, got in his car, drove around the block and came home to his office. And I thought that's crazy. But sometimes this is a back to one thing for me. Every once in a while, I usually just walk around my house, but I do occasionally when I'm feeling that kind of like, oh, I'm just slothing around and I haven't taken a shower in 4 days because I work from home and it's easy to get into that mode. I will occasionally do this, like get fully dressed, put makeup on, blow dry my hair. And then I don't usually actually go out in the car, but it resetting my day from the morning of like, I am a working person versus like I am a bed troll who has to get stuff done even though I don't want to.
Right. You're a phone scrolling person. I find myself, and when I do that, I'll change my location. Right? I don't even mean leave my apartment. I mean, just like go somewhere else, bring your stuff, sharpen the pencil and get back to work in a new location.
My other crazy, but it works for me, is that I try to work out whenever I'm in the mood to work out. Like when the mood strikes me, I try to work out.
The mood strikes you to work out. Interesting.
Which sometimes means that I work out at like 10 o'clock at night. Like sometimes I get a late night burst of energy and I will work out at very odd times.
I'm not familiar with that sensation, but good for you.
Listen, I'm not saying it's a daily occurrence, Amy.
We have some really helpful ones, though. Like you were saying, these are more in the category. Our listeners came with like things that are crazy but work for them. And most of these are in the category as you aligned the category of like, wow, what a great idea that I never thought of. That would work for me also.
Love it. Hit me, Amy.
Are you ready? All right. So our first category is like traveling, stuff that sounds crazy but works for them. Danielle, I love this one so much. If we're going away to a place that has the same weather, I count the number of days we'll be gone and do the laundry after that many days so I can just pack the laundry for the kids. Saves me the steps of planning outfits and putting away the laundry, both.
So where does she put them? Like right into the suitcases?
Right into the suitcase. You're folding and they go into, you don't have to wonder what should I pack for them. You have washed and dried and folded 4 days worth of clothes and that's what you pack.
Yeah, smart. And then it's not the frenzy of like, because the problem with the packing is always the laundry. Like we have finally figured out that laundry is the first step of packing. After too many trips of like, there's only 2 clean pairs of underwear and we need to leave in an hour. Like we have finally unlocked the code that laundry the day before that's really the packing.
And of course, this is like as your kids get older and they're like, where's my, jet sweatshirt? Like I need my jet sweatshirt. They need specific things that they want to pack. This gets harder. But when your kids are little and it's just clothes, we did an episode a long time ago on traveling with little kids. I'm going to link to it in the show notes because I remember it was full of good tips. But one was from my friend who has 4 little ones. 3 boys who were pretty little at the time. And she would wrap outfits. She would do like t-shirts, shorts, or pants, whatever, underwear, socks, and she'd wrap a rubber band around them. And she'd have like the outfits for like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then she'd pack them that way so that the kids, when they're trying to get dressed in the hotel room in the morning, could just grab a rubber band pack and put it on. And then yesterday's pack, got thrown in the laundry bag to take home.
Makes sense. I like it.
Planning
it
on the
seems
way
organized to me, but I like it. Pamela says that she cleans the house from top to bottom before going on a trip. We're talking baseboards, freezer, lint trap, dusty fan blades. I mean, this is a real clean. It creates way too much stress the day before we leave, but oh, how I love coming home to a clean house. My friend Justine said the same thing on the board. I try to do this. I have accepted about myself that it often doesn't happen, but I do try to make the day before a trip laundry and cleaning. Because I agree that walking into a messy house after a nice vacation is about as depressing. I went on my honeymoon. My husband is a messy person and just kind of a person who never throws anything away. And he lived in this crazy little studio apartment that he still had when we got married. We didn't live together before we got married. And we came home from our wedding and then 4 days in the Bahamas. And we spent the first night, his cat had vomited in this horrible, dark, dank, disgusting apartment. And I was like, what have I done? I've made a horrible mistake. It was so depressing. And after that, I was like, never again am I coming back to a depressing situation at the end of a vacation.
Yeah.
I also like a buffer day, people. I like a buffer day. We were just making our Thanksgiving travel plans, and I do like a buffer day. I like to come back on Saturday and then have Sunday as the day off. It doesn't always work, but I have started to build it in.
Right. Rather than come home Sunday night at 7 to a messy house and have to make lunches. And yeah, I feel you.
Yeah. Just coming home at 7 p.m. and then being like, oh, it's school tomorrow. Horrible.
All right. Leighton has another one that is some foreplanning, but if you need this, you really need this. She says, when traveling with others out of the country, everyone take one set of clothes from everyone in the group. If you lose your luggage, you still have clothes.
Wow. Never thought of that before. And that is really clever.
Yes. This has happened to my husband and me. We were traveling a long time ago, didn't have kids yet. I have another tip for this. Definitely, even if it's just 2 of you, if it's 5 of you, this gets a little complicated. But yeah, mix in a little bit of clothing. My husband, we went to Italy, I think it was, and his bag was just missing. It didn't come off the carousel at the end. And we didn't have it for a couple of days. And he was wearing, I remember I had some DKNY t-shirt. And he just was wearing the crappiest clothes for 2 days because that's all we had. And then when his bag finally showed up, they said, we have it. You should label your bag. And we said, we did label the bag. The bag came and it had clearly been driven over by those sort of trains that take the suitcases or maybe a plane. So the whole top of the bag had just been ripped apart and half of his clothes had holes you could stick your head through. And it was insane when we got the stuff back. So what I learned from that and what I always do is put, an identifying piece of paper with your name and cell phone number and stuff inside the bag and an itinerary for the trip. Because what would have saved us is if they knew where to find us inside the bag and not just on the bag, which had been destroyed.
All right.
So put it in and on.
One outfit from everyone else.
Does that sound crazy?
I think it's cool. I mean, I don't know that I'm going to do it. I'll probably just be cursing someday when I'm I should have taken Leighton's tip.
Put a copy of the itinerary inside. Just print 2 copies and stick one inside the bag and leave it in there. That's not so hard.
Yeah, not hard.
That doesn't sound crazy, right? All right, let's move on to holidays. Anna says, sounds crazy, works for her. No exchanging gifts with the siblings. My older brother's family doesn't care about gifts. We don't see them at Christmas. My younger brother's family, I do see, so we do gifts. My sister's in another country. We exchange board games. So many people buy for everyone, regardless of whether anyone wants to.
I have finally, after a multi-year scorched earth campaign, gotten, and it wasn't just me, but we have finally now do this as a family, especially as there's kids and other people that we do all sibling and all grown children. Name goes in a hat and everybody buys for one person. It also means you can get one person something that's worth $150 versus 18 people something that's $50 and they don't want and is bad, Right. Or as you often say, the great gift card exchange, here's your gift card, here's your gift card, here's your gift card. And it just gets
And then they'll sit in a drawer. I have a pile sitting right here of Amazon gift cards. And like, oh my gosh, I have to apply these to my account. These have been sitting in a box for, a year.
I've just started fighting to go gift free for the kids' birthdays. Cause same thing. Now everybody brings gift cards and we're basically just like, you know what, who doesn't need everyone's like extra income? Jeff Bezos with the Amazon gift cards that sit in a drawer. Like we're just funding Jeff Bezos' lifestyle and space trips by giving people Amazon gift cards that never get applied to anybody's account. And I want it to end.
Anna also plants her flag and says, I'm pretty ruthless about not buying crappy $10 gifts for every person I have an interaction with. Please, let's not do stuff we resent.
Yeah. I get it. I mean, it's the industrial gift complex and it's hard to fight against. And I do think that people have really different feelings about this and that I'm sort of like, gifts are useless. I always say now Thanksgiving is so much better. You just go and eat and visit and have fun.
That's what my husband says. Yeah.
I really hate gifts. But for other people, it's kind of their superpower. I'm also not great at it. Like it takes so much of my mental energy. I put really high bars on like getting people perfect stuff. And I am team gift free, but I am trying to also respect that not everybody is team gift free. And so trying to just cut it way down.
I think we've talked in the past about letting the laws of holiday attrition work in your favor.
Yes.
And I think this is the perfect opportunity. I do feel like it's different for kids, like, trying to strong arm your 4-year-old into saying no gifts at the birthday party because they want to save the whales instead. Like maybe they do and maybe they don't. Kids like presents, kids like Christmas if you celebrate Christmas. But for grownups, like if it's going to be stressful to find the men's sweater that's the same as the sweater you got them last year that's going to sit in the drawer, like how about no sweaters? I am psyched for a resetting of Christmas expectations. Remind me I said that, please.
I will be reminding you. All right, Amy, let's take a break and we'll be back with even more crazy things that somehow work.
For some of us, tax season is one of the only times that we look at our finances fully. And once it's over, well, that was terrible. And it is completely understandable not to want to think about it for another whole year. But using Monarch and being intentional with your finances in an ongoing way helps you see where your money is going and how you can put your refund to best use.
We are here to tell you, simplify your finances with Monarch. Monarch is the all-in-one personal finance tool designed to make your life easier. It brings your entire financial life, budgeting, accounts and investments, net worth, and future planning together in one dashboard on your phone or laptop.
Feel aware and in control of your finances this tax season and get 50% off your Monarch subscription with code FRESH.
As you know, my husband and I are preparing to send, 3 kids off to college, and I cannot tell you how helpful Monarch has been in showing us our full financial picture, helping us to track our spending and reach important savings milestones. Our weekly meeting, Amy, it's now run by Monarch.
Love it. Achieve your financial goals for good with Monarch, the all-in-one tool that makes money management simple.
Use code FRESH at monarch.com for half off your first year. That's 50% off at monarch.com, code FRESH.
At DSW, we ask the important questions, like what shoes are you going to wear? Whether you're prepping for wedding season, festival season, or just planning the ultimate vacay, the right shoes can make or break an RSVP. So own the moment. You've got big plans, and we've got just the shoes. At the perfect price, of course. Get ready to get ready with Designer Shoe Warehouse. Head to your DSW store or DSW.com today and let us surprise you.
Amy, we're back. Let's talk about stuff in weird places. Anna Lynn says, laundry basket in the living room and my kids' toothbrushes in the kitchen. We live in a split level home. My kids get distracted moving from level to level. So the goal in the morning is to keep them on the main floor where 90% of the tasks we need to do are located. That means getting dressed in the living room and brushing teeth in the kitchen.
Absolutely. I got this tip from Carolyn Dalgleish a long time ago. She does planning for sensory kids and ADHD kids, finding the pain point and then getting through it. And that's when we started having toothbrushes downstairs and upstairs. So wherever they are, when they remember they have to brush their teeth, they've got a toothbrush.
Well, I just was having a screeching moment with my husband this morning where My kids really just have stopped brushing their teeth because they're just at that age where like they go upstairs, they get in bed, they're tired. They still really, they're 13, 11, and 9. I have to say my 13-year-old is very dedicated to his dental health. But the 11 and 9-year-old just don't brush their teeth. Like we will be sitting at dinner sometimes and I'm like, oh, your teeth are like actively mossy at this point. Like I can literally see that you haven't brushed your teeth in 3 days. But it's upstairs, downstairs. Our bedroom is downstairs. Their bedroom is upstairs. And like to trek upstairs at the end of a tired day and stand over them and make them brush their teeth is killing me. But my like, your teeth will fall out and you will spend your life getting drilled at the dentist does not seem to be working either. But we do not, our downstairs bathroom has no cabinets. Like I really don't want the toothbrushes on the sink. I don't know how to handle this one.
Well, Lisa has something crazy that might work for you. Her son brushes his teeth in the kitchen. At the kitchen sink, and then you can just put the toothbrush in the cabinet. She says, we have had many comments about it, but it works for us. And I want to know, like, who's giving you lip about your kid brushing their teeth in the kitchen? Like, I can't imagine going over to somebody's house and being like, your child brushes their teeth. Like, who would do that? Lisa, stand strong.
It kind of grosses me out. My daughter sometimes wants to brush her hair in the kitchen. And I'm like, ew, that doesn't belong in the kitchen. And for some reason, teeth brushing in the kitchen grosses me out a little bit. But maybe I just have to get over it.
Toothbrushing in the kitchen is better than not toothbrushing, I would argue.
You're not wrong, Amy. You're not.
But then you have to rinse. Then you have to rinse out the sink, right? You can't have dishes in it.
There's a lot of barriers to proper dental hygiene in my house. And so far, my lying in bed and screeching upstairs brush your teeth system is not going great. So I may have to take some of these.
The morning bathroom thing is complicated because people have needs in the bathroom that are contradictory, right? And some people's needs in the bathroom, I'm not going to say who it is in my family. Some people have needs in the bathroom that are, lengthy and a little mysterious, like a 15 or 20 minute, long visit while other people have to brush their teeth. That's my pain point. It's like, how did this end up happening in the same bathroom? We do have more than one bathroom. The kids can't need to brush their teeth where somebody else is, reading their emails.
We also have the problem. Our house is kind of falling apart, and for boring reasons. Like we don't really want to do any work to the house because the whole structure needs a lot of work. And it's like we would have to knock it down and start again, blah, blah, blah. But the upstairs bathrooms are really gross. They're dark. We had a skylight that was leaking. We just boarded it over. So like they're very unpleasant rooms to be in for the kids too, which is maybe part of the problem. And then finally, after 8 million problems in my daughter's bathroom, we just turned off the water in there. So she has to brush her teeth. It's the bathroom situation in our house is a nightmare. I don't know.
Sounds crazy and doesn't work for you.
It's crazy and definitely doesn't work.
Katie, I love this one. She says, I know I am not alone in this. All you with ADHD and undiagnosed ADHD will recognize yourselves in this. I leave it out or I forget it even exists. She says, supplements I take every day on the counter. It doesn't matter that I take them every day. If I can't see them, I forget that I take supplements. My son's hockey gear that needs to be sewn for next week on the dining room table, because if I can't see it, he will get to hockey next week and realize the Velcro strap is still torn away from the elbow pad. So she gives examples like that. And she says, it's so exhausting if I forget, so I leave it all out, much to my husband's dismay.
I totally sympathize with this, but I have not fixed it in my own life. It's so out of sight, out of mind for me. And you and I have identified and implemented a ton of systems at work where like I can go to one place and look, because if you say to me like, hey, Margaret, the podcast is going under if you don't like fill out this form on Thursday. I'll be like, yes, I will, but I will never do it. Like my mind has like a trap floor that drops things out of it. I work in a place that I teach somewhere that I have to go through metal detectors to my classroom. And every week my bra, which is an underwire bra, sets off the metal detector. And every week they're like, you should get like a fabric bra that doesn't have metal in it, because then we don't have to double search you every single time you go in. And I teach on Tuesdays. Every single Tuesday, and I'm like, I will do that for it's
75 million Tuesdays later. Yeah.
8 weeks later, I'm still getting double wanded because I cannot remember to purchase a fabric bra, because it somehow never makes it onto by the time I get home, my brain has completely wiped that slate clean. And then it is only when I show up the next Tuesday that I go, oh, I was supposed to do that.
Mm-hmm. You have to put things out.
Problem system. I definitely identify with you, Katie.
I do this for my kids. I put out their, their meds, the ones who take meds. Here's this, here's your form, here's your ID, here's this. And I put in as many sort of systems, and like you will literally trip over this thing if you don't remember to put it on or take it with you. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I feel like you have to keep moving it because after 3 days, they're invisible.
Yeah, because you get used to the system. I had a son who was forgetting his homework every day, 4th grade, not a big deal, but it was frustrating for us, frustrating for you. He would come home crying, I don't have it, I'm going to be in trouble. So I took a silver pen and I wrote homework in giant letters, like right where the zipper goes on his bag, because then it's like you see this big silver sign when you go to get your backpack and you say, do I have my homework? And that's the problem. It works for about 10 days and then your mind just like integrates that word on your backpack and you don't see it anymore.
Yeah. So you got to keep like moving that sign around like Elf on the Shelf. It's got to be somewhere different every morning.
Yeah, exactly. You have to override the system of disaster.
Here's a system for definitely remembering I thought was interesting. Jennifer says that they have horses. They own horses. We take pictures of the locks on the feed room and gates. So when I wake up at 2 a.m. scared that I haven't locked them, I can look at my phone and see that I have.
I love this one. Mm-hmm. This is a great idea. Mm-hmm. I have come to really rely on my camera. I was in the city the other day, ran into Amy Wilson.
Yeah.
Because I had in New York City, I had made a garage reservation and I pull up to the garage and the guy's like, no, we're full. And I said, no, I actually have a reservation. And he's like, yeah, sorry. And I just had a kind of brief New York back and forth where I was like, what is the point of a reservation if you're telling me you're full?
Yeah, that's nuts.
So let's say it was like 82nd and 1st. I don't know. Then I'm driving, trying to find another garage. And then I pull into the garage, a random garage that I find. They have room for me. Great. I had my daughter with me. It was complicated. Thank God, because I have burned myself enough times. As I was walking out, I took a picture of the address of the garage because what would I have done otherwise? I would have been like, okay, we need to get to where we're going, run off. And then I would have literally had no idea within a 10 block up and down radius and a 3 block side to side radius what garage my car was in.
Yeah. Block to block, New York kind of looks the same.
It all looks the same, especially when you're like, your mind is overriding, like looking at street numbers and just trying to search for a garage. I did this once in a parking garage. I had borrowed my dad's car, jumped in, drove to Philadelphia for a wedding, pulled into the parking garage, gone up, huge, like 10-story parking garage.
Yeah.
Parked, walked out. I lost my little, ticket that they give you, of course. And then the guy at the front desk was like, what kind of car is it? And I said, I have no idea. Like, I just borrowed my dad's car. I never even looked at it. Like, I drove 2 hours, but I just jumped in. I couldn't have told you the make or model of the car to save my life. And he had to drive me around in a golf cart for like a half an hour while I basically looked in different cars and could see if the thing I left in the back seat was there. And he was just like,
oh my God,
what kind of idiot are you? And I was like, I'm this very specific kind of idiot.
It's like if you were like a lost preschooler whose, mommy's name was Mommy or something. Like you had no useful information.
That's exactly what it was like. I was like, it has 4 wheels. He's like, hatchback, trunk. No idea. No, I couldn't tell you anything. He truly was looking at me like, what is this person in front of me?
I do have a habit. This isn't even crazy, but it definitely works for me of like every time you get a ticket at a parking garage, you valet the car to a hotel or whatever, I immediately just take a picture of the ticket.
I got to start doing that. My picture taking is the only thing that saves me. Mm-hmm. Parking garages, basically. And I like that idea a lot of like, take a picture of whether it's the locked front door, anything that I get in bed. And I'm like, did I turn that off? Like, that's such a cool idea. I've never thought of that before. Take a picture of it and then reassure yourself that it's okay.
I have a friend with some, OCD tendencies that he manages really well, but he does have that, like, I have to go back inside and make sure that the oven is off. And then he might have to do it again. And like, I've known him for a long time. I have patience with that. But I do wonder, like, if for somebody like that, if like taking a picture of that would reassure you enough that you wouldn't have to go back inside.
Yeah, because I have some OCD stuff too that manifests. I'm not quite like I have to go back and check it, but I definitely get like, did I remember that thing? I love this idea. It's good. This is going to be a game changer for me, Jennifer. Thank you.
Love it. All right, let's do some on planning for the week. There are some good ideas here on planning for the week. Or maybe good ideas. Maybe they're crazy, but this works for Brandy. She says, sometimes I set out my own outfits for the week, and it's the nicest gift to myself. It's one less thing I have to decide each day. I kind of like this idea. I had a really hard time. Today's one of those days where I have to walk around a lot. I have a lot to do today, and then I have to go somewhere tonight and look presentable, and trying to decide like what looks presentable enough, but won't be too hot or wrinkly by, 6 p.m. tonight or uncomfortable. It took me a long time.
I'm trying to look at what you're wearing, but I can't really see it.
And I probably have more energy for that. I'm wearing an MM Lafleur top. Those are perfect for that sort of look kind of, presentable. And pants that are a little tight, a little itchy.
This is a no thank you, Brandy, for me. I would never do this. This is just not, this is outside of my realm of possibility.
Candace packs all of her own breakfasts and lunches for the week on Sunday night. And not only that, she levels up. She eats the same thing for breakfast and lunch. I've eaten the same thing 5 days a week for years. Sometimes I switch it up, but typically it lasts a week and then I'm back to my old faithful. Most people think it's because I'm so organized or so healthy, but the truth is if I don't do this, I will be late every day.
This is from the Lazy Genius Decide Once, which is Amy says, and this has been a game changer for me. Mm-hmm. Always get the same gift for people. Always get the same, have a go-to gift. And one of my go-to gifts, they just stopped making, and I'm so bummed out because it was such a good one. But yeah, this is Decide Once. And I think that's right, because I tend to be I love food and I love eating good food, but I do find during the week that I would just rather take the Jetsons pill. I only want to eat good food if it involves enjoying it.
I only want to eat good food if it's there in the refrigerator, right? And so I end up eating the greasy leftover Chinese food that wasn't healthy the first time.
Yeah, I do a lot of that. This
is aspirational. I'm going to put the recipes that Candace mentions in the show notes because she's incredibly specific. So for 5 years, every morning she has had refrigerator oatmeal with some mixed fruit in it. And for lunch, she has a Greek couscous salad, but she uses quinoa instead of couscous.
All right.
And they're in mason jars. It's so Instagram ready. I like this. I'm not there yet, but I'm curious. I'm crazy curious about this one.
You're Candace curious.
Yes. Okay, we'll be back with more things that are crazy, but work for some of us.
Amy, when I'm having a good hair day, it usually makes my whole day better. And that's why on every day, I'm taking Nutrafol.
Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist-recommended hair growth supplement brand. And it's the #1 hair growth supplement brand personally used by dermatologists. Nutrafol's hair growth supplements are peer-reviewed, NSF certified for sport, and clinically tested.
Nutrafol offers multiple formulas for men and women tailored to different life stages and lifestyle factors, so you get support that's actually right for you. Adding Nutrafol to your daily routine is easy. Order online, no prescription needed, with automated deliveries and free shipping to keep you on track.
Let your hair be one less thing to worry about. See visibly thicker, stronger, faster-growing hair in 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol.
For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you visit Nutrafol.com and enter promo code LAUGHING.
That's Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code LAUGHING. All my kids learned to swim when they were little. It was super important to me that they be confident and safe in the water. There was only one problem with that: taking them to swim lessons. The pools were freezing. There were always cranky adults doing laps right there. And it was definitely not, for any of us, what you would call fun.
Amy, heard. But now there's Goldfish Swim School. Goldfish takes a really thoughtful approach to swim lessons, combining research-based teaching with a warm, kid-friendly environment that actually helps kids thrive in the water.
Every detail at Goldfish is thoughtfully designed to create a golden experience, from shiver-free, warm indoor pools to comfy waiting areas for parents to professionally trained lifeguards on deck.
Goldfish uses an approach called the science of swim play, which combines guided play with proven teaching techniques to help kids learn to swim, build water safety skills, and gain confidence all at their own pace. Lessons are designed to meet kids exactly where they're at.
If you've been thinking about swim lessons or just wondering where to start, this is a great opportunity. Right now, Goldfish Swim School is offering a waived membership plus your child's first lesson free at participating locations.
Just visit goldfishswimschool.com/free to find a location near you and enroll using promo code FREE.
That's goldfishswimschool.com/free, promo code FREE.
And now, things you will say as the holidays approach this year.
From the What Fresh Hell podcast.
This year, we are not going to go crazy for the holidays. We're going to keep it simple and concentrate on what really matters, which is family.
Last year, we went too over the top, but this year, we are reining it in.
Now, there are supply chain issues, and I'm going to take that as my excuse to just pare it down this year. Nothing extravagant.
But listen, speaking of supply chain issues, I really need everyone's list by the Sunday before Thanksgiving, or you're getting nothing this year.
Okay, and we do need to do holiday cards. That's non-negotiable. And so I don't care what it costs. I do need someone to ship me sweater vests before this Thursday.
Okay, nobody got me their gift list, so I'm going to have to decide what to get everyone on my own.
Wow, those sweater vests were pricey. The holiday budget is already blown, and it's only November.
I thought we were doing a simple Thanksgiving potluck in the backyard. What do you mean your mother expects us to fly to Idaho?
Okay, I'm out of time. The supply chain is freaking me out. I'm just going to buy all the things.
Okay, but next year, we are not going crazy.
This has been Things You Will Say as the holidays approach this year.
From the What Fresh Hell podcast. All right, Tara has something crazy that works for her. Letting kids sleep in their bed. She says it's the only way to get a few hours of uninterrupted sleep around here. I think if it works for you, it's not crazy at all. I can't sleep with a, like mouth-breathing, kicky toddler in my bed. Just never could do it.
Yeah, I think this is definitely one of those. I think everything with kids under 6, obviously too broad a statement, but there's so many things of you should really just do what works for you.
Yes.
Breastfeeding or bottle feeding, family bed or no family bed. Listen, check out the American Pediatrics Association's guidelines in writ large. But this is my kids would always fly. If we had an early morning flight, they would just fly in their pajamas. It's fine. Whatever the path of least resistance when you're in the hard years, I'm all for doing what works for you.
Alexa says, does living in a 450 square foot house with my husband and 2 kids, ages 3 and 2, count? Others definitely think we're crazy, but it legitimately works for us. I'm curious, because you lived in a pretty small house when your kids were very young.
It was exactly double the size of Alexa's house.
Oh, wow.
I had
all right.
3 kids and a sister with me.
It reminds me of Borat when he has a chair in his hotel room and he's like, king of the castle. I have a chair. I have a chair.
Yes.
So are there actually things about a small house that are better when you have little kids?
There must be, because people like those tiny houses and stuff. Mm-hmm. As you know, I took it wasn't very long, but I took an RV trip with my father-in-law and my 3 kids. And yes, there's definitely stuff about small spaces that are good. You really cannot indulge we have, as I'm about to try to match up 400 pairs of socks, you cannot indulge. Everybody just keeps track of their little things, puts them where they go. You can't just have a lot of nonsense around. You can't have 450 plushies. You just have to have really the stuff you need and then one treasure. You're like the Ingalls, basically. You only have your little bit of space.
Your China Shepherdess on a shelf. That's it.
You have your China Shepherdess, and that is your one beloved possession, and Pa bills you a shelf for it.
Yeah, this makes sense to me. It makes it so not having too much stuff isn't a choice. It's a must. You don't have to engage with, do I really need 10 stuffed animals? No, you only have room on the bed for 2 and there's no room on the floor at all. So you just don't even want them. Do your kids want less when there's less space?
I think it's an absolute necessity. And in the morning in the RV, my kids would now at home, my kids get up, throw their clothes off, leave them on the floor, grab whatever's clean, yell to me, there's nothing clean. In the RV, you had 3 outfits and you would just put one back at night. And, I did have to be very on top of them about like fold your shirt and your pants. And if the socks are dirty, put them in the laundry. We're doing laundry on Tuesday. It forces a whole level of like familial organization on you.
And systems, right? And
Yeah.
it occurs to me, if you're the type of person who wants the house clean when you get back, it's a little bit easier, I suppose, to clean a 450 square foot house.
Yeah. It's also two things come out and you're drowning. So it's a mixed bag is what I would say.
Yeah, it's a mixed bag. The apartment that I live in has very little storage because it's a modern building. So like our walls are, windows basically. So we have very few closets, built-ins, things like that. Like our old apartment just had tons of cubbies and spaces and a place under the stairs, that kind of stuff that you just fill up with, I don't know, broken Christmas lights and things. We don't have that room in our apartment, and it has made me ruthless about what we can keep and store, and it's better.
Yeah, we were in the city the other day, as I mentioned, and my daughter saw this huge kind of skyscraper that was called, Manhattan Mini Storage or whatever it was called. And she was like, that's so much storage. And I said, yeah, well, in the city, you have these small apartments and you have to keep your Christmas china. There's nowhere for it. So you have to keep it at the storage unit and go get it.
Right. And of course, do you need to have Christmas china? Then you really engage with that.
Then you really engage with some harder questions.
Right. Sounds crazy, but it works for me.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about shopping and spending. Kristen says, apparently meal planning for 7 days at a time is enough for some people to give me the side eye. I'm not a wing it kind of person. We live 20 minutes away from the grocery store, and I like to make one big trip each week for our family of 5. I was definitely in this habit, Kristen, like during the pandemic, during like the lockdown, going to the grocery store was fraught. I'm going to go once a week. And I always wondered, Kristen, because people would give me the side eye too. And they'd be like, well, you're buying a lot. And I'm like, I'm trying not to come all the time. I have a family of 5, including 2 teenage boys. I was surprised that I wasn't the only one who actually couldn't fit one more thing in their cart by the time they got to checkout. Sounds like it's just me and Kristen.
To me, it's kind of like talking about the toothbrushes in the kitchen. Like, who's worried about what's in your cart? My God.
Yeah.
I can't crack this organization. I have started and it falls away. It's always one of the first things that falls away, but I try to come back to it. I don't really do meal planning, but I do on Mondays try to write what's for dinner every night, because for me, it's an issue of if I don't write it down, I have a night where I'm out. Then the kids have activities 2 nights a week. Then my husband will be away. And like, I find that if I don't write it down, like there are weeks where we'll get a pizza 3 nights a week if I don't really have a plan. Because at 5 o'clock, when it occurs to me what's for dinner, my answer is always nothing. I'm not doing it. I don't want to. It's kind of like writing out an exercise schedule. Like I have to beat my own brain that is saying like, do not do this, whatever you do.
But you do need to plan ahead, right? Because otherwise it's like, tonight's hockey. And then my spouse has a thing, right? So nobody's home until like 7:15. That stuff sneaks up on you, right? And that's when it's a pizza again.
It sure does. And it's also just, it's like a job then for me. If I look and I'm like, okay, it's steak and French fries and broccoli tonight. Okay, I know where those 3 things are. And my husband has an office in town, so he's close by. So like he at least twice a week stops at the grocery store to get one thing we need for dinner. Like I could be better at it, but we're kind of putting it together with, tape and glue.
It is worthwhile. I mean, this doesn't sound crazy and it works for me to take that time on Sunday to look at your week. This is more for an older kids thing, right? Once your kids have places to go and be that aren't top of mind for you because you have to be with them for those things. I have kids coming and going at crazy times.
Otherwise, for me, it's just the difference between eating pizza 3 nights a week and having a little bit of healthier dinners available. Otherwise, for me, it just falls apart. It's a must do. Susie and I are on the same page with this one. Buying multiples. If I like a pair of leggings, I buy 4. A shirt is flattering on me. I'll take it in every color, please. I have 3 pairs of the same black loafers. I don't shop often and I'm picky, so this works for me. Agree. I have had 2 or 3 shirts in my day that I always call like the magic shirt. Like I just will find a shirt that looks really good on me. And I always buy like 10 of them. Yeah, I just wear them forever.
Yeah, I've never tried this. Does it sound crazy to me? No, other than like if, do you have the money to buy 4 pairs of something, but.
Oh, these are like $10 shirts. They're not like $300 shirts. Like I wouldn't, they're like, this is like the stretchy top from the Limited. It's not like, some Dolce & Gabbana like top. It's just like, oh, I like this.
And that makes sense to me too, because if it's sort of like, instant clothes, Zara, and it's not, you're going to get a year or two out of it before it falls apart anyway, and you really love it, then this will last longer, right?
Yeah, and I have kind of,
They stretch out and
boobs and like kind of a muffin top. And so sometimes like pants, I'm a pretty generic size. But I just tops sometimes, like I can't find stuff that looks good. It either pulls or it just isn't. And so if I find something that I like the way it looks on me, I'm like all in. Get it in 7 different colors.
I had to try on like 4 pairs of pants this morning to find a pair of pants I like. So the next time I find a pair of pants I like, yeah, I'm buying it in every color. I'll try it, Susie.
Yeah, pants are easy for me, but like a good like everyday top, I find an elusive target. So when I find one that looks good, I do it. And I also sometimes, this is slightly crazy, but I think I look in the mirror and I'm always like nailing it again. I always love the way I looking in a mirror. I'm like killing it. Looking good.
We talked about that. It's the opposite of like, what's the dysmorphia for how you look?
Oh, imposter syndrome.
Yeah, but there's something like, it's like body dysmorphia or something like, when you have like, where you think you are fat, but you're not. You think that you're ugly, but you're beautiful, whatever.
Yeah, I have the opposite of that. Like I'm always like, kids killing it again today. Look at me. And then so sometimes I do, like I'll try to get a picture of me in something to like get a little second look at it,
Isn't it amazing? Because I feel like, in the mirror, I'm like, this is pretty good. And then in a photo, you're like, what?
That was a wrong choice.
No. Yeah. No. There's an accuracy here.
But then I also kind of feel like there was this movie that I loved. Charlize Theron starred in it. It was called Young Adult.
Yes.
And it was this movie about a woman, like a kind of like the most beautiful girl from high school. And she's kind of fallen on hard times. And she's kind of got like the Paris Hilton dog and like name brand stuff, but she's kind of a mess. And one of the little things, you ever see something in a movie and you're like, how did they know about that? Like, it's so good. She would always have like the front of her hair really well blown out and then the back would be a mess. And I'm like, that is so me. Like, I'm just like, oh, if I look good in the mirror, I'm killing it.
Yes.
And then I just occasionally will see a picture from behind and I think, wow, I did not do a good job with the back of my hair. But all this to say, yes, if I find something that looks good on me, I buy multiples of it.
This does not sound crazy and it works for me. And I'm going to get maybe one for one of my kids. Lori says she has a carabiner on her keys. You know what those things are? Like you use them like when you're like mountain climbing and stuff?
Oh, I do. I do know what a carabiner is.
She said, I can hook them to anything. Purse, belt buckle. It's also a great place for extra ponytail holders, which I just wear mine around my wrist. And it's harder to lose. And then Alicia says she does this, but it drives her crazy when her husband borrows her keys and then takes the carabiner off.
Oh, Alicia, would you like to call me and we can form a support group together? My husband and I are locked in a battle of wills. He likes everything sleek and as it was made. So like he doesn't want a cover on his iPhone. He wants it sleek and as is. Mm-hmm. He does not understand people who put covers on their iPhones.
So just a key, like no ring, no chain, certainly no carabiner.
We have a car that has a key, like just a key. And he doesn't want, I need like, gas station, like coat hanger hook hanging off of it with like the anchor,
Yes.
To keep you from walking off with it. But he just wants one key. And so I bought this giant, crazy keychain and he keeps taking it off. And I'm just like, this will end us. Stop taking my keychain off my key. But it drives him insane. Like, putting a key with like a weighted giant keychain on it, it's his kryptonite.
He wants it sleek enough that he could pass through that metal detector and be undetected. Like he wants that key so tiny, whereas you want like you actually couldn't fit it in your pocket.
We are truly mismatched in this way, Amy, but I understand this taking the carabiner off. I have been engaged in this war for years now.
I have a kid who tends to be a little forgetful, and this kid has the ID they need for school. Because again, this kid is now old enough to go to school without me. ID they need for school, their key, their Metro card for the bus, all that kind of stuff, all on a thing they can wear around their neck, which can go like under the shirt, right? You don't have to like wear it on the outside. And it all is constantly coming off the thing they put around the neck. Yeah. Don't separate it.
I was famous in college.
This works for you.
Because I wore my dorm key around my neck on a chain. for 4 years, because otherwise I spent my life. It was $10 to get a replacement key. And I was like $200 in, like a month into college. Like I lost a billion keys. So I would wear the chain around my neck with the key in it. And so I had to like school my roommates, because sometimes, you know, you hear someone put the key in the door and you're like, oh, I'll just open it for them to help them out. And they would constantly be like pulling me in by the neck, because I would lean over with the key around my neck to open the door. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
So then I would be like stuck in the door. They'd be like dragging me in. And I'm like, if you hear the door opening, do not try to help.
It worked for you, but that sounds crazy.
Yeah. I mean, this is the problem of my life. Like just the complete and utter disorganization. I did help myself out by marrying someone who is on the exact other side of the spectrum. Like he is my minder, as I've said before. Like when we travel, he's like, okay, here's your ID. Okay, give it right back to me. You know, he keeps my driver's license for me when we travel. I mean, he's my minder. I always say he's my Mr. Bates. He's my valet. Like he keeps me together.
I am the minder from my family, although like now that the boarding passes can be on phones, you know, like I will often if I'm traveling with my whole family, get on the plane with everybody, but not my spouse, because my spouse has that like, if I could just do one more thing. And I'm like, I can't live with this. I can't be the last people on the plane. So see you later.
See you later. Hopefully you're on the plane when it takes off.
Yeah. Works for him.
Yeah. No, my husband is good about knowing like you are not able to have this because it will be gone. At some point, my son, who's 12 at the time, got his vaccine, and he had his Vax card for like 3 months. And then I needed it to show it for one thing, and it's lost now. Like it's just everything I touch goes, you know, it's just, I'm a whirling vortex of doom when it comes to items. And my husband is like, I can't believe it. And I'm like, I'm sorry. But luckily he loves me as is.
Did you take a picture?
Amy, I did not take a picture, but thank you for asking.
That was another one. Like as soon as I had it in my hands, like I didn't even put it, away until I took a picture of it.
Oh, I do. You know what? I do have a picture of it.
All right. See, you're saved. Sounds crazy, but it works for you.
You solved it for me, Amy. If you want something that is not crazy, but extremely useful, please visit our merch store.
It's bit.ly/whatfreshmerch. You can get notebooks and t-shirts and sweatshirts and perhaps keychains, really bulky keychains.
So much stuff. We got Oldie Logs t-shirts. We got What Fresh Hell notebooks. Come on over. It's great at bit.ly/whatfreshmerch. And with that, friends, we will talk to you next week.
So long.
Stitch Fix. Shopping is hard. Let's talk about it.
I don't have time to shop for clothes.
I have to buy everything in 3 sizes to find one that fits. They know me at the post office.
Workout wear is my only wear.
Stitch Fix makes shopping easy. Just show your size, style, and budget, and your stylist sends personalized looks right to your door. No subscription required, plus free shipping and returns.
Oh, wow. That was easy.
Stitch Fix, online personal styling for everyone. Take your style quiz today at stitchfix.com.